Welcome to the Spotland Stadium, Rochdale, where the Hornets clash with Wigan in a Stones Bitter League Championship game. Today is the 17th of March, St Patrick's Day, and one wonders if Wigan team will turn it into a hoolie once more, as they did 3 weeks ago when they ran out by 72 points to 4 winners. The conditions today are quite different. The rain has been pouring down and the ground is exceptionally heavy, which could restrict the scoring in what is probably going to be, once again, another hard-fought league game. The Wigan team showing quite a few changes this afternoon. Some of these may be due to injuries and some to players being rested. Joe Lydon is starting the game out on the wing, so Botica has been brought in once again to stand off half in place of Sean Edwards, who's not turning out today. Ian Lucas, probably still suffering from his shoulder injury, is not playing, so Kel Skerritt has moved across to number 8 and Jed Stasica has come into number 10. Philip Clark keeping his place in the second row, and the Wigan substitutes today are Forshaw and Andy Goodway, returning after a very long layoff, after a very bad arm injury for which he's going to have to wear a special harness imported from down under. The Rochdale side is almost as per programme. The big prop Tony Humphreys not turning out today. Cowie is replacing him, and the substitutes are Cheval and Ian Gormley, formerly of Salford. Neil Holding goes playing at standoff half instead of his usual scrum half position. And as Mr. Asquith, the referee from York, is in the centre of the field with the two captains to sort out which way the game is going to start. The rain is still absolutely bucketing down. The touch lines for today have been moved in somewhat, so the pitch is anything between 8 and 10 metres narrower. And I must apologise to you before we begin, there's no gantry here from which to do the filming, so our cameraman is having to do this from a gangway. He's rather low down, and I'm afraid in the course of the next 80 minutes you're going to see a lot of the supporting pillars as we're at the back of the stand. And so we start this game, Wigan from right to left. Wigan to start off, here we go. First possession then to Hornets, held on their own 25, and on a day like today handling is going to be very difficult, and we'll probably see an awful lot of forward play. And there we saw some good running by the Hornets forwards, coming strongly onto the ball. In spite of the conditions, spreading the ball well. Wigan going in, ball's gone loose, rolling about, slipping and sliding all over the way. And the referee bringing them back out over the ball having been lost. And as we come to the first scrum of the game, it will be Andy Gregory to feed. 40 seconds gone. Referee keeping them apart as Gregory feeds, shoots out to Gregory, has to retreat for it onto Botica. Botica doing the run around, dancing his way through, but he's in an absolute quagmire in the centre of the field. Hanley trying to set it up after his little experiment over the last few days in the gridiron game. Set up slowly, long past Wigan, stretching them as they move the ball across, bringing Betts down the middle. Betts running hard and strong, being taken by O'Neill, and he has to dine. It's a penalty in the tattle. Referee right on top of the tattle, and Wigan given a penalty right in the very first minute. Sand being brought on, and we've heard this name Botica so much in these last few games. We think of the kickers of the past like Jimmy Ledgard and Bernard Ganley. I'm afraid I don't go as far back as Jim Sullivan, Punchy Griffiths. Ted Ward was another one, but Frano Botica in these last few games has been turning out to be a goal-kicking machine. Fairly straight kick for Botica. Comes slightly round the corner at it. Stabs at it and it's high. And over. 1 minute gone. Wigan into a 2-0 lead. Well, I don't know whether you could see that goal. Our camera doesn't go very much over the crossbar. So if the ball goes high, I'm afraid we'll be missing it. So from the restart, it's Wigan in their own 25. The forward's going to have to do the hard graft, and they're being pushed across the field by the Hornets as Martin Dermott turning it back inside. Forwards coming in, driving hard. This ball must be like a bladder of lard this afternoon. There's a lovely little charging run there, bringing Wigan out of trouble, almost up to 8 yards from the halfway line as they came well, lined up for the kick. Joe Lyon, the long one. Bell. And the referee deciding that Wigan hadn't retreated the 10 yards. Gives the penalty to Rochdale. A bit of relief this for Rochdale. After the Leiden kick through, Wigan were offside. Right on the halfway line. Hornets coming charging in. Martin Hall, the hooker. 2 Halls playing for Rochdale as they fling the ball out wide. Garton trying to go through. It's snatched out of the air. Marriott from behind to play the ball. Every yard of ground is going to be hard fought for today. Little run around, a lovely break by Hornets. There's a big overlap as they get it out onto the right wing. Well run inside, and he dropped the ball, gone forward. A good run by Abram, couldn't hang on to the ball went forward. Referee Asquith right up with the play, brings them back, but the forwards came onto it well, and then it was moved out, and Abram came very strongly, ran extremely well indeed. So we scrum. Coming out to Gregory. Gregory along one to Hanley. Hanley moved out from the pack. Hanley still going, but Wigan have lost a lot of ground as they move it out towards the right wing. And Wigan live dangerously there as they move that greasy ball across their own try line. High roll now, so big, so strong. Thrown the ball inside. Wigan still keeping this ball moving. And the taken man and ball, and Hornets full of fire, coming in hard, coming in well. Very hard to come back after they've had so many points rubbed into them 3 weeks ago by this same team. The Wigan formation, of course, not quite the same as that day. Andy Platt's not playing as he got hurt against Bradford. Stasica, head down, bullocking and barging and bashing his way forward. Once again, Wigan put in the kick. Well covered, taken cleanly, but Hornets push back, and there's a solid line of cherry and white jerseys to push Hornets back into their own half. This is the sort of day that the forwards relish. And there's a gap. Wigan coming in, balls out well. Fly kick through, Bottic having to cover. It's a race for the line. And the referee has given the try. A good try. Well, Bell showed a fair turn of speed there. He couldn't take the ball cleanly, so he hacked it on, and in a great chase for the line with Botica, and he grounded it in the corner, leaving the loose forward Turner. Long kick to take, and it looks a good one, and it is. Turner converting that try to make it 6 points to 2 then to Hornets. So could this be a turn up for the book as Wigan trying to claw the way through a difficult fixture list? There are a lot of games to play in the next fortnight or so, 4 of them in 10 days. Hornets now back inside their own 25. They made a couple of breaks, the Wigan defence looking rather suspect at times in the middle of the field. Been opening up, and Rochdale been moving into the space. Kick behind the defence, a good kick on and straight into touch. It's very difficult to see where the new line markings are as they've been brought into the 4 or 5 metres in from where they were originally. And so it will be Gregory to feed on the 25. Wigan now in a good attacking position. Gregory feeds. Out to Botica. Botica dummying. Botica trying to go through on his own. Well taken by loose forward Turner. Philip Clark charging in. Dermot coming up to act in half-back. On to... Nobody seemed to know who wanted it. Gregory not happy with that. Wigan not organised at the moment. Now we've got Gregory at first pass. Gregory doing a little run around, ball going out wide, out the left, but Hornets are moving in well, and Wigan are playing laterally. The Hornets spectators cheering every tattle, all fired up for this game as Wigan go back on the narrow side, and Wigan going round in ever decreasing circles at the moment, not showing any penetration at all. Hornets set the stall out well in defence. Gregory now hoists a very high ball. That's an awkward one on a day like today, and it's bounced loose. But Hornets have it. Taken well by Whitfield at full-back. This time it's Hornets who go across their own 25. Hornets moving the ball well on the difficult contender, still keeping it moving. That's good combined play by the Hornets, and a quick play the ball, little bit of a fumble, but Hornets keeping it going well, and they've a big overlap on this wing as they go back inside now. Whitfield's lost possession. Wigan died for the ball. The referee says it's back to 1 as Hornets have done it once more. Turner keeping it moving, gets it out onto his wingman. Bell going back inside, already 4 points on the board. Martin Hall coming up to act in half-back. And the game at the moment bogged down in the centre of the field as Wigan tried unsuccessfully to steal the ball. There's the kick behind the defence. It looks a good long-ranging kick, and he finds it a yard from the corner flag. That was a good, sound, tactical kick. Referee not happy with the scrummaging. Gives Wigan relief by a penalty at the scrum. The ball is banged into touch by Joe Lydon, out on this left wing. Dermot now on to Skerritt. Skerritt puts his shoulder in, met by 3 forwards and disappears underneath them. Dermot waiting for the play of the ball. Short pass. Stasica this time. Easily taken out. Wigan looks for the second. And the referee said there's interference at the play of the ball. Joe Lydon being brought right into the centre of the field. 7 or 8 yards inside the Wigan half. It's a long way to go to the touch line, but he makes absolutely sure. And so Wigan once again in possession, wanting to get on with it, coming at that hard and driving in up to the 25. And don't know what they've fed this Hornets team on, but they're certainly coming hard at Wigan today. They've done it, Wigan are through, they can get it in, and Wigan are going to score! Well, Wigan found the strength there, a little short pass, and Stasica, of all people, came sailing through to slide and dive over right underneath the post. Wigan now levelling the scores with a try underneath the post after 13 minutes play. Wigan 6, Hornets 6, and an easy one for Botica. And Botica puts Wigan into the lead again. Awkward ball that on the day like today. Referee giving the offside. They should level the scores. Ball bouncing about under these slimy conditions. Good chance here for the Hornets to draw level right from the kick-off. It was a low grubber kick. Wigan didn't take it cleanly, and the Wigan player in an offside position fell on the ball after it had been. And he's missed to let off for Wigan. Ball was squirting and squelching about all over the place. Wigan then to drop out from their own 25. Joe Lydon trying a long one into the 25, sensibly trapped. Wigan moved up in a solid line, and there's no way through. These players coming in very difficult to distinguish now as they're absolutely caked in mud. Wigan coming in hard. That's crunching tackling, bruising tackling, taking the sting out of these players. There's a good kick. Sits up very nicely for Hampson. Quite happy to dive with the ball, give his team time to recoup. As Dean Bell moves it inside. Joe Lydon taking it on. Martin Dermott. Stasica. Stasica made a lot of ground. Good run by Stasica. Lost his skull cap in the and Wigan now moving it out to the right wing, turning it back into the centre. Hanley ghosting up at the side of the man with the ball again. Hanley's on the inside, but Wigan put a grubber kick in, being chased to the corner, and Wigan are in at the corner. Nice, crafty little grubber kick going through. And that nice, clever, tactical little grubber kick, worth its weight in gold on this wet surface. And Myers was alert and ready for it, following up well, stretching Wigan's lead. Wigan 12, Hornets 6, halfway through. And Gormley is coming on, so that's going to be a bit of a switch round. Wigan take a difficult ball cleanly. You can probably hear the Hornets supporters screaming for a knock on, but sometimes the spectators see only what they want to see. Wigan doing a dummy run among the forwards. Iro battling his way, is buried on the halfway line. Dermott from the play the ball. Dermott having a little run to try to dummy his way through, and nobody's buying it. Hanley, long pass going out towards the right wing, and there's a kick. Always difficult today, but well trapped, safely trapped. And Hornets back again on the 25. One wonders after the first flurry of excitement, can they keep it going? And that's a good low hard tackle. Wigan offside, says the referee. Marriott been heavily tackled by Botica, and he got up and at the play of the ball, referee reckoned that Wigan were offside. Touch has been found by Turner, the loose forward. To O'Neill, going in, he big fella, takes a lot of putting down. Hall moving it out, holding, long stretching, and Wigan have moved up, and that's been nearly worked well. Wigan sensibly fall on it. Possession now, and he dropped it, getting up. Referee saying play it. Well, Wigan fortunate to get away with that one. The ball was definitely dropped. Referee said carry on. Well, I thought Wigan had lost the ball in that tackle. Referee let it go. It's Gregory now. Short pass and Wigan are through once more. Onto Hanley. Hanley moving it out. Wigan have it forced inside. Over the 25 line. On to Gregory. Gregory missing out Bell. Sends a long one. Hanley keeping it moving as Wigan get it out towards the right wing. The grubber kicks in again. Myers diving for it. But Hornets sensibly and safely fall on the ball. But they're back again inside their own 25. And it's Hardgraff bringing it away from there, particularly against his Wigan tackling, which seems to have tightened up after the early part of the game when Hornets were finding the gaps. Wigan seemed to have found a way of sealing them. And now Hornets struggling with difficulty on their own 25. There's the kick behind the defence. Myers having to retreat into his own 25. Has Hampson with him, and he'll stick it up his jumper, I would think, as he's well tackled from behind and his feet go from underneath him. And Wigan coming right down the middle. Good clearing run by the dummy half. Martin Dermott. Stasica playing hard, gets his pass in well. On to Hanley. Hanley going for the line. Hanley's going to score. And Hanley is in. Hanley, the man who's always in the right place, at the right time, always there to take the vital final pass. 24 minutes gone. And Wigan going to make a substitution after that Hanley try. Well, that was a good strong break down the middle by Stasica. He came hard and straight and he broke the defence. And Hanley, ghosting along at the side of it, took it. And when he gets an opportunity like that, he's absolutely unstoppable. Wigan 16, Hornets 6. Be interesting to see, and Goodway getting ready to come on. His arm is very heavily strapped. And I think it will be Dennis Betts who's going to come off. Botica lifts it through. Another goal for Botica. And Goodway then coming on. And another substitution for Hornets. Andy Gregory coming on for Betts. And Whitfield is coming off. And Gartland is coming back on. Colin Whitfield coming off. It looks as if Holding could be going to full-back. And Gartland back on. Started the game as scrum half. Colin Whitfield looking very dejected as he comes off with his team. 12 points behind. Dermott waiting for the play of the ball. Onto Dean Bell, who looks immaculate. It'll not be like that for very long when he's being buried under those conditions out there. And Stasic, who's having a belting game today for him, being able to substitute. Ian Gormley, who's a hard forward, coming in powerfully there as Hanley gets his pass in. Goodway's first touch of the ball. Nice to see him back, he's such a good player. Gregory puts the kick behind the defence. And that's a good kick. A very good kick indeed by Andy Gregory. Will probably give possession back to the Hornets, but it's pushed them back again. They must be sick of playing this game inside their own 25. They're about 10 yards out from the line. On its feed. Pack disintegrating. Ball's loose. And it's a dropout from under the post. The Wigan pack broke up quickly. Hornets were very disorganised. And what has the referee given? Given the dropout. Wigan pushing Hornets back over their own try line as they came away from that scrum. Wigan now driving up to the 25 line, and there's a lot of oohing going on. Iro turning for the line. He's so strong, he's so powerful. He must have dynamite inside him as he jet propelled, and it looks as if Hornets could completely disintegrate. Wigan are absolutely annihilating them at the moment as Iro goes over. 27 minutes gone. Well, that all came from the dropout. Wigan pushed them over when the pack broke up at the scrum, and from the dropout there was no holding Iro as he went tearing in, leaving Botica with a long kick. Not an ideal day for goal kicking. And in the last 10 minutes, Wigan have run riot, and the Hornets' defence has completely disintegrated, and it's another goal to Botica. 24 points on the board, 24 to Rochdale's lone try converted. 6, they made that little foray early on in the game, and since then they've gone back and back and back, and now Wigan piling on the points, stronger, faster. Philip Clark stopped dead in his tracks. A good way. Gains his 8 yards. Wanted to play it quickly. Oh, being held on to a bit. Bodies piling in. On top of Stasic, who's having a great game today. He's got him a bit slowly from that one though. Took some putting with Hanley, streaking over the halfway line. Long one. Behind the defence. Holding. Being forced across his own 25. Hornets must be wondering what in heaven's name they have to do, as Gormley there was stopped dead in his tracks. Keeping it moving well, get it out to Abram on the wing, onto Bell on the wing, Bell coming up strongly, well covered. Joe Lydon coming across, going in low and hard, putting Bell down. And Wigan moved up very, very fast indeed. Good way, coming up like lightning to take loose forward Turner. Gets out to Higgins on the far wing. They'll set it up now surely for the kick. We're on the last tackle as they spray the ball about. Referee says the ball went back as Wigan come in. Ball still on the floor. Referee's letting it go. Referee is going to give 6 tackles, so it's a turnover. Play the ball for Wigan. Back to Dermot, on to Gregory. Long wide pass to Hanley, and there's a big overlap as Wigan attack down the right wing. On to Myers. Myers coming inside, runs into the cover. Hornets got across the field very well to take Myers as he came in from the wing. Wigan now trying to play it through the forwards. Penalty to Wigan. Referee not happy with the tackle. Then he decides that the ball was lost and it wasn't that it was a knock-on. Ball's gone straight through the pack. It comes out. Got to go in again. Garthland was coming away with the ball. Garthland gone back to scrum half. Little trouble in the scrum as the forwards manoeuvre and they're even and thrutching to try to get the advance. This time Garthland managed to get it out. Well taken, and just a last minute tackle by Hampson halts the move. Gormley coming in hard, upended. Hall waiting for the play of the ball, coming round the narrow side of the field, and that's good clean tackling by Joe Lydon. Bell coming to act in half-back, decided he's going to have a run, and once again he's tackled by Joe Lydon, who's doing a lot of hard tackling, going in round the hips, putting his man down as Turner sends a long ball out. Garthland trying to keep it moving. A good break by Hornets forward. They turn it, ball's been knocked down. Referee says there's an obstruction in the movement. Wigan pulled a player off, and a penalty given to Hornets, and they take a tap. Wigan not watching. Neither were Hornets for that matter. They might have been better going for 2 points. Moving a long ball out. On to Marriott. Marriott gets over the 25 line. Hall on to Rob Hall. Rob Hall dumbing his way, coming hard and strong. Martin Hall goes round the narrow side onto O'Neill. O'Neill comes in powerfully there, and we're going to have a job holding him. Poor play the ball out to Turner. Turner doing the run around. And Hornets are over underneath the post. Well, a little bit of crisscross in there, and Hornets have put the pressure on. Well, O'Neill went over well for that try. They'd had Wigan backpedaling there, and then a little bit of him passing and crossing over, and Wigan defence open wide for O'Neill to go over underneath the post. And Turner to convert. Little bit of aggro going on in the tackle. Trainers having to come on. Just 5 minutes to go to half time, and there's still a lot of tension and emotion in this game. Hornets still giving it all they've got. Wigan having to tackle hard. Hornets driving in quickly at Wigan. They're catching Wigan napping. They're a lot more alert than Wigan at the moment. That try had come from a tap penalty, and Wigan weren't ready. Now Hornets moving the ball well out to this right wing. And eventually Hall has to dive with the ball. A high awkward ball. This should be a bomb, and back to the 25. Caught cleanly in the in-goal area. Wigan wanted to get on with it quickly. Hanley against 10 yards of ground before Gormley. He's met by Gormley. Wigan keeping it moving. Hanley sending out a long one. And these players absolutely caked in mud at the moment. And that's battering among the forwards. Love it, this sort of football, these front row men. And Gregory nearly through the gap. We're going to go down the right wing, rubber kick, awkward bouncing ball, fine stop, short of the corner. Sensible play by Wigan, taking all the hard graft out of the forwards, and we go back again. A couple of forays from the Hornets team have shown that they've still got a bit of a sting in the tail as they come through, and packs all over the place as Wigan win it against the head, and Wigan still trying to break the way through. Wigan changing the centre, difference of attack. Bell can't get out of the grip. Dermot now coming up to get them sorted out to Gregory. Gregory doing a little run around, a long one out to the far right wing. The cover is there, and Wigan moved the ball wide, but it didn't get them anywhere at all. And this going to be the last ditch effort, last gasp effort before half-time. Wigan playing the game tight, about 15 yards out. Long one from Gregory. We can get it out. Going for the corner. Good tackling. Good cover tackling. Referee says 6 tackles have gone. So Wigan have to hand over to Hornets. 10 yards out from their own line. Holding, having a little dart forward. Playing it safe and steady. Wigan in fast. Pinning Hornets down. And that's good play by Hornets. Get it out onto the wing. And onto Higgins. Higgins coming up to the halfway line. Wigan having to backpedal. That was a good surge forward by Rochdale. Now the ball lobbed across the field. Having to force back into the centre, but they're keeping it going. Hornets playing with this ball as if it's red hot, and their handling is absolutely excellent. Referee looking as if he's signalling that that's the last tackle. They line up ready for the kick. Ball's been dropped and Wigan drop on it. Looks as if a little bit of weariness there in the Rochdale team as they lob the ball across the field, and that's powerful handoff. And Hornets none too happy, all the pack piling in. Gregory. And one would think this was the opening minutes of a cup time. The scores were level with the ferocity of this tackling. And every inch of ground having to be worked for. It's being earned in bruises and sweat. Gregory, dummying, lobs it back the other direction. Hornets were right in the line-out. 5 tackles gone. And Wigan struggling as Hanley puts a kick in. It's covered by Higgins. Higgins running cross-field, running across the face of the post. Run a long way, not getting the yard. And eventually he's buried. Bit of a futile run, ran a long way, didn't gain anything at all. And Wigan coming in quickly, out to play the ball. 2 tackles gone to the Hornets, 3 tackles gone and nothing gained at all. Hornets spreading it across. Miles is across to take his man with ease. Kick through to Hampson. Lets it roll into touch. not taking any risks. And there goes the half-time hooter for what has been a most exciting and the most interesting first half, played under appalling conditions. Both teams have given it all they've got. They've gone in hard, they've tackled hard, they've passed well and accurately, and they've been all the good features of rugby league. Wigan 24, Rochdale 12. Here we come out for the second half with Wigan having brought Forshaw on. We think it's in place of Dean Bell, and Wigan just twice as many points on the board as the Hornets. Wigan 24, Rochdale 12. Wigan in their own. The familiar striding form of Goodway. Gets a good 10 yards of ground. Goodway coming well on there. Fighting hard to get match fitness. Wigan battle away up to the halfway line, trying to come through from acting half-back, right dead centre of the field now. Look as if they're lining up ready for the kick. And that's a good kick, little too far, just the wrong side, and it could well be that Hanley has come to right centre and Forshaw's gone into the pack. Tap then from the 25 forwards after half-time respite. Coming hard, reinvigorated, taking Wigan on. O'Neill coming at them. O'Neill, who's down as number 8 in the programme, is playing with a number 10 on his back. And here he comes striding down the middle, well backed up. Slip it beautifully, the support now, Wigan back pedaling. Turning back inside. And Cheval eventually made a mess of it after a beautiful breakthrough. Gartland out to Turner. Turner spreading Wigan wide with a long wide pass. Wigan push Hornets across the Wigan 25. Well, Hornets came well. They started the first half well, then they started the second. That was a bit of loose play. An overhead kick there. Myers going back for it, and it runs away from him and into touch. Just a yard short of the corner flag. Nicely placed kick. So Wigan back to 5 yards from their own line. It'll be Andy Gregory to feed. No hurry to get on with the game. Ball shoots straight out of the pack. In spite of the fact that somebody's screaming feeding, the ball shot straight out of the tunnel. The referee wanting them out on the 10-yard line. Over the heads. And a penalty to Wigan. He didn't like the way Hornets got down. Not going in straight. And ball banged into touch. Skerritt, big and strong and powerful, eventually has to go down under numbers as Dermott comes up. Stasica coming through, they couldn't get the ball to him. Goes out to Edwards, to Gregory. Wigan being held on the halfway line. Greg going cross-field. Weather looking a little bit brighter now, a little bit lighter as we can go tackling down the narrow side. Referee right on top as Hornets come piling in. 5 tackles gone. Wigan line up for the kick onto Lydon. Oh, it's a very, very high one, that. That's an awkward one for Holding, and he takes it well. Wigan following up well, and he's down on his own line. And Wigan at the moment have got Hanley lined out on the right wing, on the right centre position. Forshaw gone into the pack. Bell having come off, and these Hornets forwards have got the tails up. They're coming hard at Wigan in these early stages. They've decided they can beat them in the pack, and they're still dragging the way forward. Hornets spectators loving this, as it's flung back for the kick, and it's been charged down. Did Gregory get there first? Picks it up, he's gone for the line, and he's in. Well, it's been all Hornets in these early stages of this half. The forwards have flung anything they've got at Wigan, and Wigan hanging on desperately. After 5 minutes play, Andy Gregory charges down the kick and gives Wigan the first points of the second half. Hornets obviously come out, bags of fire, bags of fervour, and it's got them nowhere. Both Wigan coaches on, giving refreshment and sustenance to the team back in their own half. And now Botica with a really long kick to take. On the 25 line, stabs at it. And it's over! His fifth goal! Five goals to Botica. 30 points to 12, Wigan leading. Stazika, like running into a brick wall. These Wigan forwards, nothing daunted. Be a lot of bruises tomorrow, though. There's been some very strong tackling. Hornets look as if they've adopted as the motto, they shall not pass. They're coming in hard and fast. A Gregory, little dummy. Gap has closed, 5 tackles gone. Not a particularly good kick. Taken by Higgins, going into the middle. Used the referee a little bit there. The referee couldn't get out of the way. Gartland moving it inside. Hall. Martin Hall. Rochdale fighting the way up to the Wigan 25. Turner doing the run around. Turner dummying. Still on his feet, manages to get his passing, keeping the ball moving. Holding having a roll. And Holding gets it back inside onto O'Neill. O'Neill managed to slip the ball very well as he was held. Hall not seeming to know what to do. On to Gormley. Gormley taking them with him. Good run by Gormley. Hall from the play the ball. Moving it across. Gartland hands it on. And the Hornets going for the line. The Hornets are in. Well, Hornets have pulled 4 points back. Cheval going over. Well, Hornets are not lying down. Came back at Wigan. Some strong running down the middle of the field by Gormley. And eventually the gap opened up and Cheval went over to the right of the post to make it after 8 minutes of the second half. And the goal kick is missed. So 8 minutes gone then in the second half. Wigan 30, Hornets 16. Hornets now faced with the daunting task of 14 points behind. Relegation staring them in the face as Holding puts the kick through. Myers goes back for it. A lot of blue jerseys up there, and he's picked up and bounced down as Cheval, Turner coming in, and Marriott. Dermot gains a lot of ground from acting halfback. Stasic is coming up now to help him. Oh, there's going to be trouble. Gormley losing his temper, putting one in. Sometimes gets a bit of a red mist in front of his eyes as Gormley. Holding coming over. Referee saying, go away, I don't want to talk to you. Referee stopping the clock. Gormley a little bit irate there. Well, he's getting a long graphic description from this touch judge. And Gormley going to have the riot act read to him. Holding coming over in his capacity as captain coach.
There's a little girl that's in the ground. Her name is Jessica, but a pair of police collector from the players' tunnel.
Well, this is quite a long hold up, but and the card is held up, the yellow card, and Gormley going to have a 10-minute rest. Comes over to the dugout. I think it's Martin Dermot who's shaken. Trainer bringing him off, and Betts coming back on for him. Dennis Betts going to substitute. Dermot, having taken one from Gormley, is being brought off for a while to recover, and Dennis Betts, and I think that would probably been a tactical move when he was brought off to be substituted. Now back on the field as Stasica onto Skerritt. Skerritt going in hard. Referee right on top of the tattler to leave it to the run. There's a kick through and there's more trouble, and he's off. Skerritt is off. This could cost Wigan dear. Instead of leaving it to the referee, Wigan players decided that they would sort it out. Referee once more stopping the clock. And if the referee is not careful, this game going to get out of hand. The hooker it was who took that hooker, and Skerritt is off. The referee hasn't shown us the colour of the card, he just sent Skerritt off. So both sides now down to 12 men, and tempers are playing as Hall recovered, comes up, and the Wigan pack are in. This could well cause trouble. Hall coming over. Hall and the crowd inciting these players on. Wigan eager and keen, pushing Rochdale back. They're keeping the ball up though, still on the feet. And Wigan have been hurling Rochdale back in the last couple of tackles. Hall moving it now. Carson getting the ball out onto his right wing. Joe Lydon's in to take Bell. Bell has to go down. A lot of tension now coming to this game. Both sides forward missing. Wigan can well do without suspensions at this period with the programme that they've got in front of them. Hampson coming in, knocked down. Myers from behind the play of the ball. Myers jinking and dancing his way. Goes down to a low tackle. Stasica onto Hanley, and Hanley's gained a good 15 yards of ground. And now these Hornets supporters are cheering every tattle. Wigan battled away over the halfway line. Going to come out to Gregory. Gregory dummies, puts a little grubber kick. Kick back to Wigan. Wigan back to one. Regained possession. After the little kick through, bounced up most fortuitously for Wigan. Stasica ploughing his way forward. And this ball tight in the forwards as Wigan fight their way into the Hornets 25. On to Gregory. Gregory moving it across. Back to Gregory. Gregory a long pass. On to Iro. Iro well tackled. Hanley coming up to the play the ball. Hanley moving it inside. Wigan changer, and you could see his feet slipping from under him. Stasica has taken over as ball distributor. On to Gregory. Gregory holding it. Lets the ball go. It's been snapped up by Hornets. Hornets 12 yards out from their own line. The kick through comes. Wigan going to get penalised for kicking too soon. And that will be relief for Hornets. Holding, handing the ball on for the kick for touch. And it's a good one, found safely. 30 yards out. Hall takes the tap. And to Cowie. Cowie moving it on. Hanley coming in. Hooker Hall, Martin Hall. Long one. Garthland handing it on. Wigan come in and still keeping the ball moving. And the break's on. The ball can't be taken cleanly. Referee will bring them back for the knock-on. Referee stood waiting to see if any advantage would accrue. As it didn't, called them back for the knock-on. 15 minutes into this second half. Wigan to feed. Gregory gets it out. Gregory holding it. Gregory's made a beautiful break. Can't get it out to Botica. He was away so fast, even Botica couldn't get up with him. Lovely break by Gregory from the scrum. Wigan now trying to dummy the way over the 25 line. Stasica, long run from acting half-back to 10 yards from the line. Gregory, bad pass on the ground. There was no way Gregory could take that one. And it's taken gratefully by the Hornets. Ball's loose, Wigan dive for it. Wigan have got possession back. Not a very intelligent pass there. Gregory screaming for a quick play the ball. Hanley can't take it and Hornets have got it back. And this is a real comedy of errors as both sides losing the ball under these terrible, terrible conditions. Little too much emotion got in and the talent went out as the temper rose. Garthland waiting for the play of the ball. On to Holding a nice little kick through. That should be Hampson's, and it is. And he takes it well, and he runs it out well. Nottingham flying, keeping the ball moving. Wigan still forcing the attack on. Not dying with the ball, keeping it going. It goes on to Stasica, and eventually he's buried. But that was good play by Hampson. Up to Gregory. Gregory holding it, a long pass cross field, and Hornets are quickly into the Wigan line as Garthland comes in, and the Wigan move is snuffed out. Gregory taking them on, little short pass on to Hanley. Hanley having to change direction, still on his feet, gets his pass in. Wigan turn inside, keeping away from the touchline. Myers coming up to the play the ball. Myers, poor play the ball. Wigan trying to force their way over the 25, ball's tight. Gregory, and a penalty for offside right in front of the post. Will Wigan decide to go for goal? This game's been hard and tough. 18 minutes gone in the second half. Sand being brought on. Botica, 5 goals to his credit, kicked 12 out in succession. The last time he was here 3 weeks ago. Now with a chance to get his 6th one on. Should be none too difficult for him, this one. Stabs at it, and it's over. Through again. Botica's 6th goal. Wigan 32. Hornets half the score, 16. Wigan walking the oracle. Andy Gregory come off. Dean Bell gone on. This could be an interesting combination at half back, and it looks as if Gormley has served his time and is back on the field. So Hornets are back to full strength, and Wigan with one man still light. Wigan now going to have to battle the way out of the 25. Hornets coming in quickly and keenly. Botica belts it down the field. Higgins going in field, well tackled and lost a lot of ground. Goes back to Holden. Holden, bit slow off the mark. He used to be such an elusive player in his heyday. Getting a little bit longer in the tooth now. Wigan holding Hornets at the moment in the 25 as Hall turns it back inside. There's the kick behind the defence. Hampson's back, he's going to have to chase it. He's so safe in defence. He has Joe Lydon with him, decided he's not going to use it, he's going to die with it. And Wigan retreating. And a penalty for offside. Referee coming right away across the field, wanting the players back out to play the ball. Joe Lydon going to kick for touch. Takes a long one, finds it 10 yards outside the 25. Myers, probably a bit frozen out here on the wing, wanting to have a bit of a run. Plays it to Stasic, who has to grope for it. Wigan dummying to turn it back inside as Hornets have moved quickly into the Wigan defence. And Wigan not finding it all that easy to crack the Hornets. Grounds like a quagmire as Hanley goes back into the middle. Hanley going through, Hanley driving forward. Wigan still going for the line. Hanley, they're so strong. Can he make it? What's the referee going to give? Referee says he was over the line, but on his back. Well, that was powerful running by Hanley. So it'll be Gartland to feed, and probably Garney gets it out, it's brought by the loose forward, gets it onto, came away well from the scrum. Hampson coming in to complete the tackle. Hornets get it out to Higgins. Higgins coming inside, met by solid crunching tackling. O'Neill waiting for the play of the ball. O'Neill moves it inside. And for Hall. The other Hall waiting for the play of the ball. Gartland crunched down. Switch back inside. Hornets must think they've more chance among the forwards. Holding's gone right up with the defence. The referee said it's a forward pass and that he was standing in an offside position. It was on the 6th tackle, that's what he's giving. 6 tackles, so it's to play the ball for Wigan. Well, some of the referees seem a little bit incomprehensible. Stasica from acting half-back turns and twists and dives with the ball. Referee wanting them onside, waving them back. And now it's Wigan who decided they're going to come down the middle. Where all the mud is, where it's difficult. Out to Hanley. Hanley handing it on. Bell desperate to get on with the game there. And Stasica inside. Wigan coming hard and straight. Taking the forwards with him. 5 tackles gone. We can put a high up and under. They're all underneath it. This is awkward. Wigan take it cleanly. But I think it's on the 6th tackle. Referee having a close look. And it's Hornets who have it. 5 yards out from their own 9. And Wigan coming in quickly. Pinned them down there. Higgins coming from the wing. Running cross field. Against 5 yards of ground. And really, Hornets, nothing to lose by flinging this ball about with gay abandon. Look a bit weary then. There's a kick behind. Wigan having to retreat. That's a good long kick and they let it roll into touch. Good clearing kick by the Hornets. Pushes Wigan back. Back into their own half. Wigan, of course, somewhat disorganised now with the sending off and the reformation of the team as Gregory's gone off from the scrum half position. And that's what it's cost them. They put the ball in and couldn't get it out. What happens when you lose your scrum half? Quite an art to feed in the scrums. Wigan forcing Holding back inside, Holding right up in the attack now. A little bit of needle still in this game as the ball slipped very, very nicely onto Abram. Hall waiting for the play of the ball. Wigan trying to smother them, make sure they can't get shut, as the referee holds his hands up for 5 tackles. And Turner hoists a high one for Hampson. Hampson takes it well as ever and runs it out so well. So safe underneath these difficult balls. Keith Mills coming onto the field, whether he's coming on to give advice or treatment. And the Wigan player looking in a bit of difficulty. Wigan drive forward. Hanley proving quite a handful. Iro not seen a lot of the ball in this second half. As Wigan have been playing it down the middle of the field. 5 tackles gone. Joe Lydon coming across. But it's not Lydon who gets it. The kick goes in any case. Holding takes it well. Having to run it out. Thrown a wild pass. It can only be dropped on. So Hornets once again in this terrible territory. About 11 minutes to go of normal time. 2 weary teams out there. It's been hard graft on this quagmire of a ground. Ball drop, Wigan should have possession. Yeah, Wigan's ball, the referee says. Wigan go through from acting half-back almost up to the 25 line. Joe Lydon coming in. Wigan going down the middle, turning inside. Hanley still on his feet, knocking him off. Can he get it down? The referee has given it. No, it's not. He's calling the trainer on. Giving the scrum down. Referee judging Hanley on his back, and from the resultant scrum, Hornets get possession. Wigan pushing them across the field. Myers going back, being heavily chased. Decides he'll dive with the ball, play it safe. Hampson over behind him as Higgins came in quickly. Hampson going in field, being chased by Higgins. Hampson straightening up, coming down the middle. Tremendous run, he has Hanley with him. Hanley going to the 25 line, the cover's there. Well, that was a good run by Hampson. Set it up well for Wigan. Wigan keeping it moving as again in and out onto the left wing. Wigan streaking to the line. And they're over. Well, that was set up originally down the middle of the field by Hampson. He made a tremendous run. He was backed up by Hanley, and Wigan moved the ball out well across the line for Bell to go over. Just in from the corner flag. And Boddicker with another long one. Lifts it high. And it's over again. Seven goals this afternoon, 12 in the cup tie. Philip Clark. Wigan, and they've lost the ball in the tackle. Referee says play on. As O'Neill turns inside. Wigan could well be without Skerritt for the semi-final cup tie. Ball's loose, and that was a quick reaction. Wigan in very, very sharp on the loose ball. Regaining possession on their own 25. And a penalty again for Rochdale offside. And the touch judge has seen something. Touch judge is having a word. Touch judge, none too happy with the loose forward Turner. Going to be called over and be read the right act. As we come into the last 5 minutes of normal play. Joe Lydon makes no mistake, finds touch just over the halfway line. Oh, and Hornets laid off there, and Wigan were allowed to run a long way before anybody met them, and they didn't seem to want to know at all. Wigan dropped the ball. Referee says play on, playing the advantage. Wigan pinning Hornets down on the Hornets 25 line. Holding, kicking behind the defence. Wigan are back in time for it. Little slip. The graft going on in the middle of the field. Botic have been doing some great work. Wigan playing out time now, this game in the bag. Another 2 points safe as they battle for the top four. Hanley turning it inside. Conditions in the centre of the field are appalling. Bit of grass on the outside, but the ball's not getting there, and that's missed Wigan. There's the kick, well taken by Holding. And the ball's loose, still on the floor. Referee saying the ball had gone back. And a very weary Hornets team plodding the way forward. They've given it their all, they've worked hard, they've just not got the speed or the strength of Wigan, but they've certainly stuck gamely to the task all afternoon, and it's paying off at the moment. I think the ball's gone yards forward, surely. Wigan drop on it.
The Rochdale Hornets man of the match was sponsored by Metro Rochdale, was the number 8 Neil Taylor.
Referee giving the forward pass to Wigan to feed. Wigan packing 5 forwards. Referee wanting it in again. Not happy with the balls coming out of this pack. And this time it's Wigan who are penalised at the scrum, signalling that handling was going on. Ball stabbed into touch. Last gasp now from the Hornets. Wigan, ball been dropped and knocked on. A lot of it must be tiredness now. They've played their hearts out and have taken quite a hammering. Not as bad as before. This time it's only 38-16 as we come into the last gasp of this game. Wigan get it out. And they in the standoff position. Hanley still going down the middle of the field. Tremendous running by Hanley over to the halfway line, and that was a terrific run. Good 50-yard run for Hanley. Big overlap on this side of the field as we can get it moving onto Iro. Iro out to Myers. Myers going inside. Myers going for the line. Tremendous run. It turns it inside. And Andy Goodway, on his return to the team, goes over underneath the coat after a tremendous run down the centre of the field by Hanley. Hanley set it up from a scrum near the Wigan line. He went like a bomb down the middle of the field, moved out onto Myers. Myers ran strongly and determinedly inside, and there was Goodway backing him up. 40 minutes of normal time. Goodway. Botica 10 yards out. Chance for his 8th goal here. And he plonks it over with no problem at all. 6 goals to Botica in this game. Now playing in injury time. The sad mark on this game, of course, is the dismissal of Cal Scarrett. Tempers had overflowed, Gormley had been involved, and Scarrett came in, decided he would dispense justice. Referee, right on top of it, decided he had to go off. And Scarrett, after the dismissal of Gormley, Wigan knock on behind to play the ball, went in and sorted out the hooker and paid the price for it, was sent off. And so once again Wigan run up a massive score against Rochdale Hornets. A lot of it due to the kicking of Botica. Wigan will be glad to have that one out of the way, so they come off worthy winners by 44 points to 16, and a game played under atrocious conditions, pouring with rain and a heavy ground. Wigan now setting themselves up for the semi-final next weekend. Well, Martin, it looks as if somebody set out this afternoon to mar your handsome features. It was pretty torrid out there at times today.
Well, it's a game of rugby league, you know, and it's always a torrid game, rugby league. They had a bit of niddling tactics today, and we was very unprofessional and got roped into them. But the scoreboard says it all, and we come away with 2 points, and that's the main thing.
But the conditions were terrible out there today. I don't think it ever stopped raining. The ground must have been appalling to play on.
Well, it's a good ground, basically. Last time we come here in the cup, it was very good. But today it's got a bit torn up with us playing it on it. But like, there's no excuses. Like, we did a job, and I think we could have done it a bit better, but we did all right.
There must be a lot of bruises and sore bodies out there today. How have the team survived on the whole? Any serious injuries, or will they get over it in the next few days?
Well, we're a very fit side, and the fitter you are, the better you recover. And there's nothing major or serious, just a few bumps and bruises. But during the week, John's got a good training schedule for us this week. We should be all right.
You've got a hard week in front of you, I would think, when you've got the semi-final on Saturday. Will you be doing anything special in your training, or is it just as normal?
Just as normal as we've been doing. We're really on form. We're buzzing at the moment. And like Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday we'll be training. No different. A lot of fitness work, a lot of ball work, and a meeting.
Well, I've no doubt you're full of confidence, are you? You're expecting that next Saturday will see you through onto the Wembley final.
Well, I won't say it could see us through. Oldham's got to the semi-final, and that should... we respect every team we play, but Oldham's got through to the semi-final, and we must respect that in every way. We'll go out there, and we'll just be playing like we've always played, and we'll let them think about our game, and we'll not think about their game.
And once you've got that over, you've got a bit of a nightmare of a programme ahead of you, haven't you, till the end of the season?
That's right. We can't get any proper training sessions in, which is not really bothered, really. But it's a heavy schedule. We've got 10 games. Like I said before, we're all fit lads. We'll do it.
Well, thanks, Martin. And the next time we see you, the hearts will be pounding and the adrenaline will be flowing as Wigan take on Oldham in the semi-final at Burnden Park on the last hurdle before we set out to Wembley.
whiskey.
That beady-eyed simpleton is writing a column about gourmet cooking?
Nobody knows more about that stuff than Igor.
Lucretia Borgia knows more. An unsuspecting reader might get the impression that Igor's recipes could somehow lead to food.
I see what you mean. But who else could possibly write a gourmet column?
You myopic moron, I could.
Could what, sir?
Could write a column about cooking.
You? Major, I'm flattered. But it's too late. Igor would be crushed.
Crush him. You will earn the eternal gratitude of all people who eat.
Well, in that case, Major, welcome to the masthead. And because you are a member of our editorial board, I am authorized to offer you a special subscription rate. $5 a month or $75 a year.
You rapscallion. If you think I'm going to pen a column and pay you for the privilege, you're dumber than you look, and that boggles the mind.
Does that mean you're not writing the column?
In spades.
Well, maybe that's for the best. Igor's already turned in his first recipe anyway. Boston clam chowder.
Boston clam chowder?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it sounds delish. Let's see. You take a bucket of canned clams, add 4 boxes of powdered milk.
Hey, watch where you're going. What are you doing?
Sorry, Captain. Excuse my impertinence. But if all these sticks were laid end to end, and they are, what would they be?
They would be and are the foundation for the Washington Monument.
Don't they already have one of those someplace?
That one commemorates Washington the man who crossed the Delaware and gave us wooden teeth. This one commemorates Washington the place, which sent us across the Pacific and gives us wooden legs.
Excuse me. My nose for news thinks it smells a story.